Hello and welcome to Real Exposures, where we interview today's top pros and ask them real questions to find out what makes them unique. I'm David Brommer from the B&H Event Space, and today's guest is photographer Peter Hurley. Peter has the distinction of being regarded as one of the top headshot photographers in America. He began his career in front of the camera working as a model for Abercrombie & Fitch and Ralph Lauren, and then moved behind the camera to perfect the art of the headshot. Currently, Peter has studios in New York City and Los Angeles, and an impressive client list including Levi's, Reebok, DKNY, Johnny Walker, and more. He shot hundreds of headshots for actors, models, and authors. Peter is also well known for his work with the cast and crew of Lost as it was wrapping up its final season. So Peter, first I'd like to congratulate you on your creative accomplishments. You've done so much in a short time, and welcome to Real Exposures.
Thanks for having me, and I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you.
So, you're really known for these headshots, and I have to ask you, what is it that makes your headshots distinctive?
I think I break it down to simplicity, and I keep everything really clean and simple, but then what makes them stand out above all else is the interaction with the subject, is that I'm trying to pull expressions out of these people so that they look alive and they appear intriguing for the onlooker, and I think that's what people notice in my work the most.
When you're engaging these subjects, what type of topics, how are you engaging them?
I play it a little differently with each person, but I'm finding a common thread, and then I'm messing with them. It's been a 10-year run of trying to figure out how I'm gonna take a human being that I've never met before, put them in front of my camera, make a connection with them, and get them to open up. I think cameras do strange things to people, and I think my overall goal and scope of my work is to make it seem like the camera's invisible to them. And if the camera becomes invisible, then you get the real person coming out, and that's what people want to see anyway.
Do you ever notice that sometimes when that power drive is going off, those is advancing, do they like that sound, that as the camera works?
Well, yeah, I mean, they react to the it's funny, the reactions are different. Everybody's different. So some people like things like that and some people don't. Some people, when I'm doing a headshot up close, they're like really stiff, and if I move back a little bit, all of a sudden they turn into different human beings. So you never know. I've shot such a wide range, and I've been lucky enough to have thousands of people in front of my camera, and it's the same thing every day. I'm trying to figure out how to connect with that individual so that they get something special that I never did before or whatever. I believe that everybody's so unique that I've never taken the same headshot twice. So
sometimes you nail it on the first exposure, you nail it towards the middle or towards the end. Does it?
Most of the time it's somewhere, there's like a light switch that goes off in people's brains and they get it, and after that happens you're like, whoa, they really got it. But there's a warm-up period generally with people. When people get in front of my camera and just like have no apprehension whatsoever, I'm always shocked. I'm like, are you normal? Are you okay? Is there something, it's like, it's cool when somebody doesn't have that, oh my gosh, I'm in front of a camera now. It's different, and those people you can become more playful with and go any direction you want. The people that get totally freaked out are like this in front of a camera. You got to be, whoa, here we go. There's work to do.
So talking about some cameras, we have another member here at the table.
Yeah.
You're a Hasselblad shooter, and this is a beautiful H3D 22 megapixel camera, and I know there's an interesting story behind this camera. Do you care to share this?
This was, I was shooting Hasselblad. I was shooting an H1 with an Imicom back on it at the time, but Hasselblad had a contest that I guess I filled something out online. So I got a phone call in December, I think it was right around, it must have been 2007. I got a call from Mark Duham at Hasselblad, and he said, do you remember filling out this quiz that we had online? And I said, I think so, I think I remember. He goes, 18,000 people filled it out, and we picked 4 winners. And I was one of the 4, and actually I should have put the other lens on it. It came with a 28mm lens with it, which is a beautiful wide-angle lens I use a lot for different wide-angle stuff. This is my 120 macro that I use on a daily basis. This is my favorite lens. But it's a workhorse. I've been using it ever since, and it's taken some great images, and I just can't thank Hasselblad enough for I don't know how out of 18,000 I made the top 4, but or whatever got picked for that. I don't know how they chose that, but it was awesome. What a gift.
I believe the camera that you win takes better pictures than the camera that you shell out $20,000 for. So that's kind of cool.
It's funny. I just finished paying off the other one when they told me I won this. I was like, oh my gosh.
Perfect. So you have studios in LA and New York City?
Yeah.
What kind of lighting do you use in the studios?
I use KinoFlow lights mostly for my headshot work, and I use Profoto for my other stuff. And on the background, I mix the Kinos with the Profotos. I use D1s to light my background, and it's on the Air remote, so it's kind of nice. And then when I do the location work and stuff, sometimes I'll bring a Kino, but most of the time I'm using Profoto.
You know, we're lit right now with Kino Flows. And they're cool. They're not hot. They give great light.
No, they're good. I love the light out of them. That's how it came about that I was looking for something that had constant lighting, and they worked really well.
Other things too. You teach a popular class on the headshot. What makes your seminar different than the other workshops that are out there for, say, portrait photography?
What I think people get out of it the most is, and I think the most important thing, I could have a beautiful girl in front of my camera with great makeup and great light, and this camera, and if I don't have an expression out of her, I don't have a shot. So my thing is teaching photographers, giving them tools that whenever there's a human being in front of the camera, whether you're doing a headshot or a portrait, or you're shooting a wedding, or you're shooting a family album, or you're shooting the cover of Vanity Fair, I don't care what it is, you got to make a connection with that person, and you've got to be directing them. The photographer creates the atmosphere. So I've developed these tools over 10 years that I'm very proud of for getting things to happen in front of my camera. And that's what I teach in my intensive. I did a DVD on it called The Art Behind the Headshot. So we're selling the DVD now, and the intensive is just a 2-day. It's just an awesome time. I love doing it, and a lot of photographers are benefiting from it.
You know, I talked to a photographer who went through it, and she raved about it. Cool. And she was able to fill up her portfolio, and really said it was a different type of workshop, and she really took a lot out of it. So awesome! Yeah. Congratulations on being able to come up with that format.
Thank you.
Do you prefer to shoot in LA, or do you prefer to shoot here in New York City?
I'm a New Yorker. Okay. I like going to LA. I opened up in LA because there's a market out there, and I figured I did it. I've been there 4 years, and I've been flying back and forth about once a month. I have another photographer friend who opened a studio in Dallas, so we opened up there, and I went down and checked it out. But my wife likes to keep me in New York with, I have kids and stuff, so getting out and about isn't that easy. But I do concentrate on LA, but every time I'm out there, I just want to come back here and shoot, and I feel most at home in my New York studio.
What's next? What do we have on the horizon?
Well, I think with the headshot thing being my backbone, I think I learned a lot about how to direct people and stuff. So I'd like to get into more serious portraiture and commercial portraiture, and maybe getting an agent. I never had an agent, so that's something, putting a portfolio together and getting an agent. I love the teaching, which has been growing leaps and bounds.
So speaking of portfolio, you have an awesome website. I really like the design of the website.
Thank you very much.
It's truly, the website really reflects your work. It kind of comes...
And we have a new website that we're launching for photographers. That's going to be, I'm trying to create a website that's free for photographers to go to, and then they can come in and do some coaching with me on that site, and they can also become what I've called a PH2 photographer. So anybody looking for a headshot anywhere in the world, I'm going to be coaching these photographers, and hopefully they'll be coming to this site to find great photographers to get headshots. It's going to be specifically geared towards headshot photography because that's what I'm known for. But I want it to attract all sorts of photographers and then clients who are looking for headshots, because I think headshots are such a growing business right now. I get so many people from different places wanting headshots. Everybody wants a nice one for LinkedIn. People even want them for Facebook. But corporate-wise, there's not that telephone. Not knowing what people look like because they're having these phone conversations anymore. They're going to the website, they're looking at the about page, they're seeing pictures of people. So these people need good images where they look good and they feel good about themselves.
In social media websites that have pictures of people as profile pictures, even when it's a business entities, like a Facebook page for a business, when there's people on it, seems to get a lot more interaction from people. They feel comfortable interacting with a picture of a person instead of a building.
people want to see people. I mean, I'm a portrait shooter, so when I walk down the street, I'm like checking everybody. I'm like, look at that person's face, look at that. Wouldn't that be cool to get that person in the studio and do this with them? Not that I do, but it's something that intrigues me, is that, we all look so different. So I think I think if you're a photographer and you shoot portraits, you really have to enjoy looking at the human face and figuring out how you want to shoot anybody. I'm doing it with you right now. I'm like looking at that kicker on him right now. He's got the
awesome.
How would I shoot him with the hat? I got a little reflection in the glasses. You didn't pay for the anti-glare. Come on now.
Right. I lose them too fast.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Well, great.
Yeah.
Well, Peter, I want to thank you for coming out today to Real Exposure. It's been great. I also want to thank your Hasselblad for making an appearance. Yeah. That's wonderful. And best of luck in the future. And we're going to stay in touch and we'll keep it going.
Awesome.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Peter. Thanks.
For more information, please visit us online, give us a call, or stop by our New York City Superstore. You can also connect with us on the web.